Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here to answer some questions about relationship problems. I got the most known and most asked questions. I'm going to go from the top to the bottom of the list that I got. This is my opinion, so if you don't like it, I'm sorry. But at least give it a like and a share. Tell your friends. So yeah, let's get started. The first question is, why do people cheat in a relationship? If you're not happy, why not just break up? Okay, we'll just break that question down. Why do people cheat in a relationship? Well, the answer's right in the question. If you're not happy, people do cheat. So that could be one. Another reason is they just don't feel enough attention in a relationship, what kind of goes with the unhappy part. They want more attention, or they are only staying with the person they're with because they're getting money from them, or a house, or something like that. They're feeding off that person. That's the only reason they're really there. So that could be a couple answers. The main part is you shouldn't be with somebody you're not happy with, but you shouldn't cheat with them. You know, you shouldn't be with them and then going out with fucking other girls or anything like that. It's not, you know what I mean? But that is the world we live in. So if you're not happy, you know, and they're not going to change, and you try, because, you know, people don't really change unless they want to change. You can't force them to change. That's how it is. So if you're not happy, move on, live life. You only got one life. Go out and be happy. Just move on. Okay, next question, guys. From Austin Lawson, my boy. What is going on when you're not together and do not hear from them? If you meant that you're talking to somebody and they're not replying. Basically, a couple things that could be happening. One, they're trying to break it off with you and they just don't want to tell you. They don't have, you know, enough heart, or they just don't really care. Another is, it could be an emergency or a family problem. If it's only for a couple of days, I don't know. But if you do know them and they're always using the phone and stuff, basically they probably don't want nothing to do with you, or they're seeing somebody else. Either way, you should at least tell the person that you don't want nothing to do with them, so they won't just sit there and keep trying and keep trying. Just be, you know, even though it might be hurtful, you gotta tell them. That's how it is. But basically, that's all I have for that answer. Why do whores always have to try and mess up a relationship? Why can't they just let the couple be happy? Most of the time, a whore just can't mess up a happy relationship unless she really tries. Like in school, always trying to come up with a flirt with the person right in front of the other person that they're in a relationship with, just to piss somebody off. And if you're strong enough in a relationship, you will get past that. But most of the time, this question comes up is when the relationship is in a bad position. Basically, they're always fighting, they're both sad, and one wants to get the other person's attention and make them feel the pain that they think the other person put towards them. So basically, they're trying to get back at them. So that's when the whore comes in a relationship and ruins it. Basically, it's not the whore that really, it's kind of the whore's fault, but it's kind of the person in a relationship too. You just can't blame the whore, we can say, because they just come in most of the time in the right timing when they're both fighting, and they know they can mess it up. So basically, at the end of the day is, if you're in a happy relationship, just stay strong, get past it, and you'll be fine. You shouldn't do that. If you're in a relationship, you should be messing with nobody else. You know, you gotta be happy. You know what I mean? If that's the girl, that's the boy, you stick with them, and that's that. That's how it should be, but it is what it is. Alright, guys, let's go to my next question. Kind of a funny question in a way. Well, I try to be. So it's, why the fuck my dick too big to do anal? We'll get right into that. When you mess with 12-year-old girls, their asshole's way smaller than a normal girl's, I guess. I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but that could be a problem. So maybe don't do that until they're older, or if you're older, find someone your age. Is love at first sight real? Why or why not? I want to ask you guys a question. Can you love somebody by just looking at them? You know how many Facebook posts and all that, people get mad if you say I love you within a couple of days. Well, then how can you say that and then say you love someone at first sight? Basically, it's more of a fantasy. You see somebody, they look really good, and you just feel like that's the person in your dreams, and you really want to date them. That's what basically love at first sight comes from, I guess. So, if you can love someone within a couple of days, I guess love at first sight is real, because you know what I mean. To me, love would be spending a long time with somebody and you're still there, and you just keep moving through the happy times and the sad times, and you have all those moments together. Like you can't live without them, you know, the real meaning and stuff like that. That's basically what love is. So to me, at love at first sight, you just can't look at somebody and then, you know, without the moments and stuff, love them forever or know you love them. You might like the way they look, but not like that. But yeah. Why do all girls bitch about wanting a nice guy, then date total assholes, and then like shit?
But that was perfect what you said before.
Alright guys, let's go to the next question. Why do all girls bitch about wanting a nice guy, then date total assholes and treat a nice guy like shit? Well, first off, basically because the girls are too young. When you're in high school and stuff like that, you always want the most popular guy or the badass person that's always heartless and does whatever he wants. Well, you know, as you get older, you really don't want that. You know, when you get mature and stuff, you don't have that many friends when you get out of high school, not that many people you see or you could possibly date within your, you know, your age range. So you go for somebody as you get older that you're going to live your life with. You don't have to worry about going out and cheating or, you know what I mean, drop the whole badass gig and live life, you know what I mean? You know, that kind of thing. So basically, is this like a phase? Or we can go a whole different way. When you're young, you start dating that way. So you always fall for the assholes and you continue that cycle until you break it. That's one another answer. And another one is, and basically the whole challenging part, you don't go for someone who's easy most of the time. It's in your human genes or whatever, how you think. You always want the challenging person. The good-looking girl that everyone wants, that's the person you want, not the easy one that you can date right off the bat. That's the one you want. This is how it is. The whole badass, everyone in school, that's like the group of that year wants to date, you know what I mean? It's a whole mindset as when you're young to do that. So, you know what I mean? If you're talking to somebody, you're being friends with somebody who treats you like shit when you be nice to them, then it shouldn't be your friend. You shouldn't be friends with them. That's your fault. Don't blame them because you're sticking around them and they're treating you like shit. You can move. You can find other friends. That's your fault, not theirs. Alright guys, let's go to the next question. It's kind of the same. It's kind of different. I'm going to answer it real quick. Just get out of the way because it's basically the same. Why do girls put the nice guy in the friend zone and then turn around and date assholes and then break up and try finding the nice guy? Well, basically, let's go back to the challenging part. Girls want someone, guys want like a challenge, or they want to have the same kind of traits, the same kind of interest and stuff like that. If you don't have that, that's what really gets you to connect and bond with somebody. If they do the same thing, and you go out, you know what I mean, you love the same thing, that's what everyone likes. You know what I mean, you have a good time that way. When you're trying to date somebody that's not even your kind of person or connectable, you're totally two different people. Not saying they cannot work, but most of the time you fall for someone who you can connect with, talk to, have the same kind of personalities in a way. So it's a whole challenging thing, and basically that. Why be friends with someone who's going to treat you like an asshole, who wants you when their boyfriend's treating them like shit? Don't be there for them, because you being there for them makes them come back again, and then you fall for them again, and you keep getting hurt. Doesn't make sense. Don't worry with them. You know what I mean? Find somebody else. There's someone out there. You know what I mean? Just keep looking. Just don't settle yourself for someone who treats you like shit. Don't do that. So yeah.
Amen.
All right, guys. Let's keep it going. The next question is, why do girls ask? Why do people fuck up spelling on here?
That should be a question and answer.
Alright guys, let's keep it going. Let's go to the next question. Why do girls ask how much you love them on a daily basis? Someone when they made the question answered it, you know what I mean? So I'll try to do it my own way. But yeah, basically you just want to feel that tension, that love, that you're the only person for them. Guys don't really do it that much, but girls often need that attention, that craving, that knowledge. So they know that they're still number one. They feel wanted and stuff like that. They want to know that you're number one. You know what I mean? That you haven't lost feelings. You gain more feelings and stuff like that. To protect their own hearts. You know what I mean? That's just that That's their security, their protection for them. So that's what it is. Just show them that you love them, keep it going. You know what I mean? There is problems somewhere down the line where, as you get older, you get jobs and stuff, you might not be able to do all that. So you should just know by their actions. You don't need to tell them all the time, but by their actions on how they do stuff and what they do for you. So stuff like that can also show that they love you. So yeah. I brought my boy Michael with me on this one. Let's get it, Mike. Question is, why do opposites attract? Or do opposites attract?
Well, to me, I mean, there is some cases opposites do attract, but to be honest, about 80% of the time, there's got to be something, some kind of connection. There's got to be something like that's the same between the two people. Some kind of connection, some kind of attraction. But I mean, yes, there are some cases. I mean, Nick, what do you think?
Basically, I think in some cases he is right. Some people don't look for the same personality as them. They want something new, a spark, or something different things that they can do, stuff like that. And like the whole other half, you know what I mean? One person's good at math, but the other person sucks at it, so you bring that person in to help you. I mean, that kind of thing, not exactly like that, but stuff like that to make you guys a whole. Make you great teammates, basically, stuff like that. What do you think, Mike? Is that good?
That sounds pretty good.
Here's a question. Why stay in a relationship if sex is the only thing keeping it alive/float, basically? I'll let Michael go first, since he is my guest. Go ahead, Mike.
Alright, guys. Basically, if you're just in a relationship, just have sex, you're not even in a relationship. If you are, there's no reason to be in it. I mean, there's some cases to where the couple breaks up and they still want to stay friends, and they just have sex because it's fun. They know each other, and they know each other's body already. I mean, in reality, like I said before, you're not even in a relationship, if you ask me. But I mean, there's cases where I guess they can still be in a relationship. Nick, what do you think?
You have some good points, Michael. I think that if you're unhappy and the sex is the only thing keeping you guys together, try to work things out, talk more, try to be happy in a relationship, because the way I see it, you don't have one life, and there's no point just to sit there and be in an unhappy relationship, always just having sex to keep it going. You can find somebody else that makes you happy plus have sex. So you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make no sense to me to stay in a relationship just to have sex. Some people do just stay in it because it's more than sex. Like I said previously, you get to stay in a house and stuff like that, and the sex is good, but the relationship isn't. Stuff like that. Michael made some good points there too. So I think we answered that question. Next question: what is love? That's a big question, I guess. What is love? Love can mean numerous things, relationship-wise, family-wise, friend-wise. Love is basically a lot of memories and moments shared, and you get that connection that you feel with them. You're bonded. You feel like you can never meet another person like that, or you love them like no other, and stuff like that. Love is just basically a great bond that you build with somebody over months and years, not over weeks, which some people now think they can do that. More of lust, but that is my opinion. I mean, you can't really have a strong connection with somebody if you just met them in a couple weeks. You can feel like it, but if you just leave that person, you're not going to feel that much pain as if you've known somebody for years and then left them. As in, like your mother or father dying. Not the same kind of love as a relationship, but you still have that strong bond there. So, Mike, you have anything to add?
Nah, you're right on point. I mean, you gotta get to know somebody before you can love them. I mean, that's it.
Alright, that's Michael's good points. The question is, why does it usually come down to only one person giving effort at all? Basically, the person loses that effort after he already got you, and he just gives up. Well, not really gives up, but he gives up the effort to keep being with you. So he doesn't have that, oh, I need to get with her, so I'm gonna keep trying and trying and trying and trying. He just is like, I already got her, so now what? He, in a kind of way, is bored, and he needs to know that to keep you, he needs to keep put forth effort to make you happy. Try to go out and do things, make you both happy, and keep the effort going. That's the main purpose, is to be happy. So that's one of the reasons he loses effort. He got you, and you lost it, and that will hurt a relationship. What do you think? Mike.
Basically, his mindset is that now that he's got you, you don't have to work. You're his forever, and that's not how like relationships gonna work. It's definitely gonna cause problems in a relationship because both people need to put effort into it, and that's the bottom line. If you want a relationship to work out, both people have to work for it to work.
Mike, we've got a couple more questions left. Here goes the next one. Why does a man or woman tell you something they dislike and don't want you to do, but then go off and do the same thing? Basically, they tell you not to do something, and then they can go out and do it themselves. You want to take it over?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's basically being a hypocrite. But I'm not trying to say that as an ignorant way, but it's kind of the bottom line. That's like me getting a girlfriend and saying, "Oh, I don't want you going out to party and stuff like that." The next night I go out and do it. It's not wrong. It's not right for me to do that. It's completely wrong, and that's gonna right off the bat. That's gonna cause problems in the relationship. And to me, since normally that's at the beginning of the relationship, normally that is a make or break moment for a relationship because you're struggling for power. So that person wants power over the relationship. They want to tell you what's going to happen and when it's going to happen, and that's like I said, it's make or break. You either work it out and it goes fine, or it's probably not going to work out. But it's not right for whichever person is doing it for them to do that. Go ahead, Nick.
All right, some great points, Mike. Basically, they want to control you. They want to have that power over you, like Michael said. The only time that I can see why they would do it is that you went to this person's place or you went to a party and you cheated or something really bad happened to hurt the relationship, and they don't want you to go to that place anymore, and they tell you not to. But this is not the same kind of question. That is just, and he shouldn't go out and do it either. But what I was, that's the only way I can see why he would say something like that, or she would say something like that. So it's not right. You shouldn't control somebody. You should have the trust in them to go out and be happy. That's the main part. Let them go out and live their life, and you live yours, and you live it together. Let them go out and do whatever they want, and you go out and do whatever you want. You're both happy. You know what I mean? But you do need to spend time together. But let them live their life. Let them live their life. So, yeah. Why does a man say not to worry about a certain girl because she ain't shit, but y'all break up and he's with her? He's just trying to protect himself from a fight, basically. He knows he has feelings for her, and you kind of do too if you already know about her. And he just don't want to fight. He wants you to, I guess, work. But then again, you do break up. He's right with her. He has feelings for her. And my point in this, my perspective is, you shouldn't be talking to that person if you have feelings for him. And I'm not being mean or saying the other person should control you not to talk to him. But if you two have feelings for each other, but you're in a relationship, and if you do keep talking to him, you're going to gain more of a connection bond. And that's going to hurt your relationship you have with the person that you're with. So that's where I'm coming from. But it is your guys' relationship. If that person's okay with it, then hey, as long as you guys are happy, that's the main point here. So, Mike, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, all right, in my opinion, and that, it's definitely going to cause problems in a relationship, but if the opposite person in the relationship is okay with it, I guess it's fine as long as you keep it to a friendly relationship between just friends, because let's face it, if you have feelings for another person, you're going to want to talk to them regardless, but it's just a matter of how much you can control it. If you can control it and keep it to a friendly relationship, that's fine if you guys are up to it. But if you know straight up that you're going to have serious feelings and it's going to cause problems, then there's really no point in causing problems in the relationship. Just tell them straight out, look, if I keep talking to you, it's going to cause problems in my relationship, so I'm not going to do that. No hard feelings, not trying to be mean, but that's just the way it is.
Why is love so easy to say but so hard for some to prove? It goes back to the old quote of actions speak louder than words. Basically, you got to give meaning to the word love. Love's just a word, and until you put meaning to it, it is just a word. So people use the word love a lot nowadays, especially on Facebook. They can be dating somebody for a couple hours and already be in love or love them. And to me, I can only see that possible. You got to really have connection, that bond, like I told before. You have moments together and connections, and feel like you more know that you can't be without them. You know what I mean? You have that, you miss them so much and stuff like that. So people use it real quick. Most of the time, it's easy for them to say because they want to fuck you, or they want something from you, and they want to get in your mind, get in your heart, and fuck you over basically. And no one likes that. No one will like it. But basically, that's what it comes down to. It's easy because it's a word. You know what I mean? If they really love you, then they'll prove it through actions. Little things. That's what really matters, the little things that make you happy. What do you think, Michael? Was that good?
You're right on point with that one.
Why do some women think love stands for legs open very easily? I don't know. Never heard that before, but they're a whore, I guess.
They don't want a love relationship. They don't want a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship. They want a friends with benefits relationship is what that is. They just want to have sex, basically.
Or, yeah.
Plain and simple.
You're a sex addict. But then again, we'll get to the seriousness of it. That's the only way they feel wanted. They feel attention. They feel like someone really cares for them. And we can't really judge them in a way because if you was growing up the way they was or been through what they went through. And we're just saying that that's how they feel because they're really depressed and stuff. I'm not saying for the people who go out and fuck other people and fuck up relationships because they want to. You know what I mean? For fun. I'm talking about the people that are depressed and that's the only way they feel needed. Then that's what it is. That's the only way they can feel needed. And I feel sorry. I mean, they have low self-esteem or whatever. A person should only love you for the personality that you have and stuff like that. So that's my answer. What do you think, Mike? Is that it?
That sounds pretty good.
All right. Well, this is your question, Mike. What's the point of two people being in a relationship if both people aren't happy?
Well, that's just to me like the whole point in being in a relationship is for the two people to make each other happy. And I've seen a lot of relationships like it where one person is just really doesn't care at all, the other person's still trying, or they're just plain out not happy and they're still trying to keep it going because they don't want to end up lonely and stuff like that. But I mean, eventually, that's why you gotta try and work stuff out. But I mean, eventually, something's gonna give, someone's gonna give up. But in the bottom line, if neither person is happy, like, there's no point even being in a relationship. I mean, because a lot of people do it because they don't want to be lonely, but at some point, someone's gonna give up and you're gonna end up lonely. I mean, I know that's not easy to say, but that's why you shouldn't give up on some relationships. Nick, go ahead.
All right. I think the reason people stay together if they're not happy because they feel like they can't get somebody else. They feel like that's the only person they can get, and they don't want to move on. They're scared to move on. They're scared that that's all they can get. That's the best, and that's not true. You guys can move on, find someone that really makes you happy, cares for you. Another reason is just basically that they think the other person is going to change. They both got the same mentality that, hey, well, he's going to change, she's going to, well, the guy thinks, well, she's going to change. And months, years down the road, you guys are in the same position because no one changes. The only time a person's going to change, like I learned, is that when they want to change. And everyone should know that. No one's going to change unless they want to. So, I mean, what I can say is you keep trying and trying and trying, but at a certain point, someone's going to call it quits. And not saying it's a bad thing, but if you only got one life, so you got to be happy. That's the main point of this video. Is just that's the moral of it. Just be happy and just live life. So that's it, guys. Hit the like and share button and comment what you guys think. The questions will be in the description of the video.
Peace.
You guys have a good day.